today's guest is quite literally living every white man's dream. No, Chloe, he's not an actuary. He's a rapper. Not a logical person or M&M eating individual. No. He is not from Para. You know, we've done a bit of editing on the introduction. He does hail from the independent Republic of Haaaaaai. His girlfriend calls him PH. His dad simply calls him Fat. Oh, yeah. Please give a very warm welcome to Mike. Thanks for coming on, Mike.
No problem.
Mike. I think it's sort of become a staple of our shows. Sam introduces you, he insults you, and then I apologize. Okay. So apologies for Sam and welcome.
Well, no, thank you for having me.
Okay, no, but I hear you. And I've got some negative feedback about my personality from people who watch KETS. So I will give, firstly, an apology to Mike over here, Chloe, and of course the loyal KETS fans. And I will do a deserving introduction for Mike Zietsman.
Okay.
What's the... now,
here it comes.
Now I'm really...
Now you're ready. Okay. Mike is PHFAT, a South African rapper who has headlined many stages, performed in front of thousands of MDMA-riddled fans, and ultimately shaped mainstream music and fashion through developing a cult-based following of fans that when Mike says jump, they say motherfucker. He is the best of us. He is the worst of us. He is PHFAT. He is Smooth Mike. He's the one and only Mike Zietsman.
Hey.
What about that one? Put that on your...
I think that was like 50.
Yeah, I was going to say 6 out of 10, dog. Just how I'm feeling today.
Well, I gave it a good bash.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We like to knock people down on a Monday.
Yeah, it's just
just humble you.
You just kind of come in with the underhanded compliments and just really knock people off their stable high horses.
I said it to Chloe a bit earlier. It's one of the rare times that I'm actually podcasting with someone I have some sort of affinity towards. Like this, Mike and PHFAT, you're a big hero growing up back in the day. Now you're just a hero.
Now I'm a little hero.
What do you say to that when you hear people be like, "Hey, you're my hero"?
I don't know. It doesn't happen that often. Also, hero worship's hero worship's like a weird take on life. Nobody's really a hero.
That's true.
Not to get straight into an existential Monday morning, but all your heroes have definitely got some weird shit going.
Yeah. If this is a Monday evening and you're listening and...
sorry, it's a Monday morning now. I'm giving up the gag.
Giving up the secret.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll start us off with a fairly innocent question, right? How do you separate Mike from PHFAT?
There was like a time in the past where there was a big separation, I guess, because there was a time when there was multiple members, but now it's just me. And so initially I had all these like hardcore boundaries in place, but now those boundaries have all kind of dissolved, and they're kind of almost one and the same thing now, I guess. I just keep my too much of my personal life out of the public sphere, I guess. Yeah, that's really it. And so I guess my close inner homies know the real differences between like PHFAT and Mike, like the guys who've seen me run my day-to-day existence, and then like obviously PHFAT when you're in public is a completely different thing.
Do you ever feel like under pressure, like when people meet you, that you have to bring like PHFAT energy when it's just like it's a Monday morning, I'm a bootleggers.
So like that was the weird thing. So like one of the weird things that happens is like people kind of like people can occasionally like get into the idea of any public performer, really, because what happens is like with any kind of public performer I'm not sure who to look at when I speak.
Oh, don't even
everyone ends up I did a statistical analysis, like 90% of the guests just look at Chloe the whole podcast, and I don't blame them, like this big hairy sweaty guy.
It's less confrontational. The thing is, I think we're both there, my G.
But you can also look at your camera.
Okay.
Whatever makes you feel comfortable.
So anytime there's like a public performer, people can like, it's like they can become like they get to know the idea of the performer as opposed to the reality, and that's just like something that can happen, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're trying to like keep up a facade when you're interacting with a stranger who like comes up to say hi at the airport or whatever, like that's fucking weird. They can like people can kind of people like instantly see like any type of insincerity. So yeah, I just kind of keep it real, and I'm generally quite immediate with people. I guess, I don't know. I don't ever want to be unfriendly, and I just say hi.
Well, I mean, not that anyone really recognizes us that much.
Are you kidding me?
Okay,
You guys can't land in Botswana without people fucking flocking.
So people recognize Sam, right?
Where's the security?
Sam, people recognize Sam probably because his hair, he's much more like memorable. So for me, I'm like, I fly under the radar. If I'm not with him, people don't know who I am, right? And I was standing in the line to vote, actually. And I'm actually busy crying for some reason.
You're crying.
Yeah,
I was
having a full-on crack up. I don't
something
know.
to do with the chemical imbalance, I imagine.
Yeah, and maybe just like I think I was just like I was having a bad day, and I was like, it's raining, but I also need a vote, and I'm just like crying under my umbrella. I was having a full-on breakdown, and then someone messages because we're obviously both logged into the KETS Instagram, and someone's like, oh, I think I just saw Chloe in the queue to vote. I was like, oh my God. Like the one time someone sees me, I'm busy crying.
Yeah, I think
maybe people are just scared to come up and say hi.
Maybe.
That's what I said to her, because on Instagram, like now you also know the tricks, we both logged in. So the love letters you send Chloe are read by Mr. Harry. So keep sending them through. Some of you guys need to work on your punctuation. But anyway, it's interesting that you mentioned it, because obviously like we joke about it and stuff, but because TikTok's blown up and we're very happy to be on that sort of platform, I have no idea when someone's like, hey, you do it. And I can only be self-deprecating. I wish I could be like, yeah, thanks so much. I'm like, the show is a train wreck. Thanks for...
Sorry, I just laughed straight into it. You trained me not to do that before we sat down.
Yeah, but it was a full 3-hour session.
It was and I did it again.
We went through the alphabet, and Mike's really making steady progress.
And I'm still doing it.
He actually gets closer to the mic.
Just 3 in a row.
Mic technique is supposed to be my thing, but I just don't have headphones on, so I'm not sure where or how.
We spend so much money at the start buying like expensive like Mackie headphones, because we're like, we have to have the best audio. And then I was like, you know, for the first, to get the technique and stuff, you kind of do need them, but now they're just like the most expensive, terrible aesthetic choice anyone could ever make.
I mean, you don't really want to sit with headphones on and talk for a long time.
No,
it's not fun.
You don't even really want to be on Kidsy Toast for that much time.
It's not cold today.
No,
it's not cold,
and it's also the third hottest day in the last 3 days.
Yeah,
like it's actually cooler today. It must have been horrible in here 2 days ago.
It was. Chloe and I got into a big fight, but we edit the fights out. But let's get back to the music.
Oh, sorry,
sounds like KFM after an ad break.
Yeah,
7 in a row. Are you happy for me to define some of your music through a News 24 article written in 2012?
Jeepers creepers. That's like a lifetime ago. That's 10 years ago.
So that's a yes. So you described your music back then as rap music that people can party to, which is a pretty cool explanation.
That was probably fair at the time.
How much has your music changed now?
I guess with like the crumbling of the boundaries between PHFAT and Mike, it's gotten a lot more kind of introspective and existential already. It's just fucking sad now.
It's taken a doctor.
Yeah, it's taken a doctor. No, I mean, there's still fun music that happens, but
yes,
like when you're spending more time by yourself, you're bound to write more introverted music. I like to think that it's developed musically and that I'm not using as much of like a formula as I was back then.
Yes. And I mean, of course, you're now creating during a pandemic where life has become even more precious and fleeting.
Now it's just various new ways to describe how you can cry yourself to sleep.
Could they be described as bedroom bangers?
Bedroom bangers? What, the latest stuff?
Yeah. Well, okay, so I've got...
Chloe, what is a bedroom banger?
Yeah, what's a bedroom banger? I'm interested in what's a bedroom banger.
So according to Urban Dictionary, right? Very trustworthy source. It's meant to provoke a feeling of sexual lust in the bedroom or nightclub. So it's not actually an insult.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant a bedroom banger was just like homemade music that bangs. Like, because people make a lot of music and it is so hot in here. Where's my...
He put a dab his face with his mask.
Just there we go.
I thought you meant it because a lot of people make music in their bedrooms. That's a standard place for people to set up their like home studios in the bedroom. So I thought you meant a bedroom banger. Okay, so you're accusing me of making sex music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chloe, I told you there were certain rules you had to follow.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've made some. So I'm still fucking laughing.
That's fine. I said to Chloe at the beginning, like if she gets a hall pass, it's either with Nick Preen or Mike Zietsman, and she said nothing about Nick Preen, so I'm sweating for more reasons than one. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes, I definitely. Jesus Christ, man.
I know, I'm very uncomfortable.
Jeez, that's a bit of like a Mac G sort of podcasting style I've adopted here. Have you heard of Mac G?
I've heard of Mac G. I haven't watched it.
He's in a bit of trouble now, but he's always in a bit of trouble. He's one of those guys that leverages.
I haven't. So I've been completely like out of the loop with
No.
a lot of the South African pop culture stuff recently, and I've been quite enjoying it. That was like one of the benefits to the all of this.
Yes.
Right? Was that like I didn't really have to pay attention to what was happening.
Do you think you could beat Casper Nyovest in a fight?
Depends what sort of fight. Is it a running fight? I'll fuck him up in the 100-meter sprint.
Is it a
I actually don't doubt that.
Casper's quite a big boy.
I don't know. I reckon he fucking. I bet he could throw a punch.
Yeah, no, he got into, and that's what we would. What led me to is he's gotten into the sort of celebrity boxing scene.
Okay.
He was like, if Jake Paul can do it, like I can do it. And to his
Francois did that shit as well.
Yes.
And didn't he like beat a rugby player?
he beat up Derek Hogarth. Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, well, I mean, you brought this talking points up. So.
I don't know, but I mean, look, in my mind, somebody said rugby player, and I was like, Francois is a Belville
Yeah, bomber.
like rock boy, and just came out and beat up a rugby player.
He is honestly, I mean, we will make our mind up about you after the podcast. But he was really the most surprising person we've ever had on the podcast. Because, like, fuck off, Politica, Die Gevaar. It's like heavy music.
Yeah, like a
that sort
rock
of
star.
thing. Yeah, he's a rock star. And he's the most calm, cool, collected individual ever.
Family guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, he holds it down. He's fucking fit as well. I don't know if I'd take him up on a long distance race.
I've seen him on Strava.
I'd take him up on that short distance as well. But I don't know about the long distance race. He might fuck me up in the marathon.
Speaking of marathons,
Yes.
one's career, one's life could ultimately be described as a nice laugh in there. That was much better.
I did try and move away.
No, it was
I'll
much
figure it
better.
out.
I loved following you on Instagram because you've got a couple of things going on there. There's the music promotion, that stuff, and all the things that come with being an artist. But I do love how you deal with online haters who DM you.
Oh, Lord.
And you got some heavy abuse from some guy on New Year's Eve. Yeah, he literally DM'd you. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Actually, and he DM'd me like a couple years before.
Yeah.
It's cyberbullying.
Honestly, so I wanted to... And he was literally like, you ruined my whole New Year's Eve, bro.
What? No,
How do you deal with that?
I respect people. I don't know. No, I think it's perfectly okay to not like my music. Like,
Okay.
I think like fucking if you don't fuck with it, that's cool. Like,
Okay.
What blew me away about that was there was 2 stages. You didn't have to stand there and watch.
Come
There was
on.
other places he could have gone.
You could have fucked right
But
off.
like, I don't know. No, like I kind of respect people's rights to not like music. And sometimes you're going to be on a stage where there's a bunch of people who don't like your music. That's how it goes. Like, I remember, we opened for a band called The Used Ones, who is like a big band. I mean, I don't know if they're still big. I don't follow that scene. It's not my scene. And I remember we walked on, like we got booked by the promoter before they knew who the international was that we were opening for.
Oh, yeah.
So we walked on at 6 p.m. at fucking Grand West Arena or something to like 2,000 people who'd been waiting since 2006 to watch their favorite fucking rock band. And on come like PHFAT. And like our show wasn't super tight at the time. And I remember every time we finished a song, there would just be 2,000 rockers who were just like dead quiet. And one dude would just shout, "Fuck off!" And like people would throw like a plastic cup at the stage and
No way.
It was like being in a room with 2,000 ex-girlfriends. Like it was fucking awful.
You have 2,000 ex-girlfriends? That's quite impressive.
I've been going for a while. And like I remember it was super upsetting because you you don't want to be disliked by that many people.
yeah.
But like there's a lot of people out there who can dislike you. But what was funny is like a couple years later we did like a hey, give us your favorite like memory thing. And a bunch of people were like, the first time I saw you at the Used. And I was like, are you fucking joking? We got like we came this close to getting booed off stage.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't think it's particularly nice to like attack someone's character or
Yes.
something like that. But I think it is perfectly like encourageable to not fuck with someone's music.
Yeah, it would be a bit hectic if it's like your music sucks and also
Fuck you.
kind of look funny.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of, because like I said, we're very new to this stuff. You've made a career out of this. So I'll just read some TikTok just on our latest video. Okay. This is not... on the latest video, someone just writes there, dumb generalization. And I thought the point I was making was quite intelligent. This is my personal favorite for the week. No one likes you, guy. Shut up.
Wow.
And I know because of the gendering of that speech that was directed at me and not the lovely Chloe. And then Chloe gets, in all caps, Lana Rhodes.
Who's Lana Rhodes?
Big time porn star.
Okay, fuck. Well, I'm glad I didn't know that.
Yeah, that is... We'll clip that, send it to your girlfriend and roll on with the good times. But Chloe, how do you deal with the haters?
Well, Sam actually tells me to just not look at our TikTok comments.
That's true.
The thing is like,
them
you've got to be careful, like, if you're dealing with a hater, because hating is there's a pretty low barrier for entry to hating, right? Like, you don't need a skill set to be like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And so, like, who you engage with is mad important when there's a hater. So, like, if somebody hates on you and they're nobody and you pay attention to it, they're like elevated. It's like if I say for instance, I made a song going, I don't know, calling out Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
If she like punched back, that would elevate my status massively. She's a far bigger star than I am.
Yeah.
And like the same thing happens on like a micro level. So like, I don't know, if somebody else came out swinging like at me who was bigger than me, it'd be like, cool, like keep hating, like you're.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you ever had beef with another South African artist?
Not really, not that I know of. I don't think.
More vegetarian sort of creator.
Me?
No.
I mean, I just don't like. I don't know. I've always kind of just done my own thing. I think.
No, but I think that's what I've like from the moment you burst into the studio, the apartment. You were just completely yourself from start to finish, and I think that authenticity is kind of missed amongst people these days.
I mean, I'm not sure. Also, the other thing is like how much like time. Okay, so there's like one of the things that happens when you become musicians, all your fucking friends become musicians.
Oh, really?
Yes, because those are the only people you.
We have seen that in podcasting as well.
We've actually got a lot of podcasting friends. No, there's like all of your friends become musicians because that's like the only people. Like this morning, it was a Monday, and you needed me here at 9 a.m. and I was like, Mondays are rap Saturdays. Like, I need those to recoup. I'm supposed to be sleeping in.
I see. Okay, Chloe, maybe Mondays on you.
Yeah, they should be our podcast Saturdays.
Yeah, that
sounds like you should write a
podcast on Mondays, so you should be.
Yeah,
that's true.
The trick is you guys are always going to be hungover on a Monday. Or do you guys party?
Asking the big questions.
No, asking the big questions. I love this shit.
I'm sweating, but no, I used to. Jason, we're getting real here. I used to attach all of my partying to the pursuit of women. Oh yeah. I think we can stop there. No, and when I am more in like relationships and very happy and not drinking, I don't really party. I like if we drank a bottle of wine tonight, I could get pretty messed up, but it'd be like a nice small thing. I like that. I don't want to go to arcade and lose my mind amongst the sea of.
Okay, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like your social sphere, because I don't really drink when I perform.
Okay,
like occasionally I will.
Are those when the performance started? Taper off a bit.
No, like actually, dude, it's funny because I don't drink that much. All the people in the scene fucking seem to like encourage it when it does happen. They're like,
yeah.
But that's also the joke with all these artists. And when we interview musicians, they're all sober because they've gone too hard at some stage.
Well, I never really went too hard. I just saw that there was like a direct correlation between hard partying and short careers.
Yes, Kurt Cobain.
Or like, I mean, I was talking more about I was talking more about like scenesters who last for 3 years and have their moments. Because it's not.
Yeah, come on, Samuel. Pull it together here.
I think one of the low points of the podcast was Sam had gotten Fokoflager, right? When we had Francois on the podcast.
Sorry, this is gonna make a noise.
No, okay. He was 2 years. Maybe more than that, but he'd been sober for a while. But we didn't know that. So Sam like had a beer for both of them and he goes, yeah, I don't drink. So Sam's like, okay, well, I'm just going to down this now. And
this is 9 o'clock in the morning.
There's like 10 seconds of silence as Sam downs a beer in front of Francois.
Yeah, I'm not very good at downing.
Like way too, but also like, oh, you don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
No, we found that out.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, sorry, Chloe. I have my own like inner dialogue. But I want to touch on this quickly because it's something that consumes me. or something that I think about a lot is that, so when you are PHFAT or performer, or you have a podcast, or you're an artist or whatever, your haters are very real. You know, you can go like, oh, that person comments on that, they really don't like it, or you know what I mean. What I
Also,
find
like,
is the individual hater is interesting. Like people post the bikini pic. You know, they're just like a BCom student, and they'll be like, don't let the haters get you down. And I always think the hater is within in those sort of instances.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Even me.
Okay, well, that means I'm just in the sweet spot.
Do you know what he meant?
No.
I have no idea.
Let us know in the comments below if I have lost the plot.
hater is within.
Because everyone has the idea of, you know, people don't want to see me win. People don't. I don't think that's the case.
I don't think. I don't know.
I think that's yourself being like, you shouldn't win. Oh yeah.
Oh my god, dude, this dude's trying to. This dude's Archer
is
trying
that-
to
is that
fucking drop
when
a
people say-
2-layer remove Sigmund Freud on our asses.
Yeah.
Go,
yeah.
I think it's like when
Carl
like
Jung.
everyone said I'd never make it, and it's like, who is everyone?
Exactly.
You know?
Your
Were they
parents
speaking
support
about
you.
you? Yeah.
You grew up in Bishop's Court.
Yeah.
It was stacked in your favor. But anyway, we're going to move on to some lighter questions.
I think what I'm saying is like, haters exist sometimes. Like I can't remember where it was. I was somewhere, and someone's dad said like, would you be offended if I told you your music sucks? And I'd be like,
You kind of already have.
I was kind of like, I would be worried if you did like it. You're a 55-year-old man. Like, keep hating, dog. Tell your friends how shit it is, you know?
As Drake
That's what I'm
says,
saying.
why are you always hating? And we love Drake for that. Oh, yeah.
There's just better shit to do with your time.
Exactly. Mike. Chloe, how are we doing for time there? I feel like we're on top of the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move to some lighter questions. I mean, was Oscar really fetching a fan? Will we have peace in the Middle East? Who is the greatest white rapper of all time?
Fuck, that's a tough one. It's between... Oh my god, did you put me on the spot here? Aesop Rock and Mac Miller.
Okay, I like that.
Between them, who else? I can't
Chloe,
think of anybody else.
who's your favorite white rapper?
My favorite white rapper, probably.
You guys. For those of you listening, we made some awkward eye contact.
Most definitely PHFAT. But if I had to pick international as well,
Oh, nice. I like that.
just so it doesn't look like I'm sucking up, Eminem.
Eminem.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I think that'd be pretty popular.
Yeah, but basic.
No, I think it's become in vogue to hate Eminem, and it's like you can't discredit what he's done.
Yeah,
over his
definitely
career.
not Machine Gun Kelly.
No, is he a rapper?
He's writing like emo punk now.
It's not good. But
No,
my favorite rapper.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hater is within.
Here it comes.
This guy just said to a multi-platinum artist, it's not good. And if Machine Gun Kelly heard that, his feelings would be hurt, dude.
He would but Machine Gun Kelly's
Easy to punch up, dog.
It is.
Anybody can hate.
Anyone who's having tantric sex with Megan Fox can take a couple of blows. But the biggest controversy.
How do you know that? Dude, think about it. How do you know what type of sex this man is having if you don't like his music?
Because I like Megan Fox.
I have no idea.
No, that's true. But do you guys remember when Macklemore...
There's like that thing, like hate isn't the opposite of love. Like this dude lives in your brain rent free.
That's true.
You're sitting there thinking about him fucking Megan Fox right now.
We're going to have to rename this podcast.
He's still thinking about it.
Mike and hate. How can we move forward? But I wanted to bring attention to the controversy. I mean, some have called it our generation's 9/11. And that is, of course, when Macklemore ousted Kendrick Lamar to win Best Album.
Ousted. Yeah?
With Same Love.
I thought you were going with light questions, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a kind of,
What about
back and forth. Oh, no, I just kind of wanted to say that on a public platform. But I think we'll cut to our obligatory commercial break. Okay. And just like that, we're back.
Hey.
Mike, hi.
Very good. How are you? Ready for battle?
Oh, yeah. I like how we've asked each other multiple times today how we're doing. It's always good to check in with friends.
With the homies.
Yeah, I like that, the homies. But I've got a few more questions, and this one might be misconstrued as a joke, so let me know. And I'm not really actually looking for an answer here, but who is Joseph Kony's favorite rapper?
Joseph Kony, was that the just like Coney 2012. Why do you keep bringing up
Soldier Boy,
my dude?
Wow.
What?
I actually found that joke on the internet. So.
Wow, can we undo that?
Oh yeah.
That's so inappropriate.
It is inappropriate.
Sorry, Sam.
It's inappropriate. Sounds like a 2 Chainz
That's
lyric.
a fucking fire shirt. I didn't realize until I like actually. That's
I'm
a
all
legit,
corduroy today.
That's a legit knitted shirt. That's nice.
My gran died making this. Wow. I know some people come on the show like, oh, it's this type of show. I'm like, no, unfortunately, this is me.
This is how I am all the time. This is how you are all the time.
Yeah, I'm probably toned down
Definitely,
on the
yeah.
podcast. Yeah, and then we've done a few audio only ones. They're not good because
Oh
the
my
camera,
God, they're
the camera
wild.
kind of checks you.
Yeah.
You know that people, where the audio ones, you go absolutely crazy.
I'll just give Sam a look like, nah.
But that's Chloe. Everyone needs a Chloe. And I mean, sorry, the guys, this has nothing to do with Mike Zietsman, but you got to find yourself a Chloe.
Everyone needs a Chloe.
Everyone's got haters, but you need a Chloe to manage the haters. But we thought, because you are a rapper,
Yes.
that we'd play a little game. And you know, we're at the end of our podcast as we just keep clutching at straws and trying to invent new ways to basically do what radio and television have been doing for years, and then be like, we hate mainstream media. So we love rappers. Well, I really love rappers and their stage names.
Okay.
You know, 2 Chainz, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Eminem. We don't often know what their real names are.
Okay.
And given that you are, say, a student of rap, we thought we'd chuck out some normal names to you. Well,
And see if
their
I
real
can
names.
name the rap.
And if you can, some will be very hard. Some will be. And for those of you listening, just a quick example. So, Chloe, Mike Zietsman is.
Okay, got you.
No,
PHFAT.
There we go. That's the one.
There you go.
That would have been hella awkward.
And PHFAT is
Mike Zietsman.
very cool.
Very cool.
I love. It's probably my favorite part of a podcast where there's just a little sound bites of pure silence, just like revel in that awkwardness. Okay, so here we go. We'll start off easy.
Okay.
Marshall Mathers.
That's Eminem.
That's Eminem. Chloe, do we
Easy.
have sound?
So this is just their way of establishing that their game works. Okay, let's
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
go. I just want to warn you, my rap trivia is terrible.
Okay. Well, let's. Jared Higgins.
Fuck, not a clue.
This is a kind of a new wave rapper. Unfortunately, he is dead. Juice WRLD.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went. Juice WRLD ultimately got me through lockdown. I thought I was Juice WRLD for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Juice WRLD.
Sorry, you guys are gonna have it. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Come on, Chloe. You got the next one.
Okay. Sean Carter.
That's Jay-Z.
Yes.
Come on,
Easy,
say it with your chest,
easy.
Mike. You
Yeah,
knew that
you got me off guard.
Hey.
I didn't know who Juice WRLD was.
Keenan Forbes.
AKA.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes, okay.
For some of our viewers from Cape Town, that is of course
AKA.
and fucking butchered. I had a joke there.
You're
Punchline.
going to use his name in a pun because that's some granddad level dad joke.
Yeah, that's not even dad level. That's granddad level.
They say don't meet your heroes. They were right.
Dude, am I a hero?
Have you been listening to the podcast? We said at the beginning, you've gone from big hero to hero.
Thanks.
On the topic, Big Hero 6, great film.
Big Hero 6, I haven't seen.
Check it out.
Okay.
It's a heartwarming tale
Okay.
about man and machine.
Okay.
Anyway, and Chloe, the last one, because this I feel if you get, I would be very excited by.
Okay, so who is Amala Ratna Zandile Dlamini?
Oh, that's Doja Cat.
Yes.
Damn, that's why he's the best in the business. How cool is that?
Oh no, her dad wrote Serafina, didn't he?
I don't know.
Something like that. Don't quote me on that, but she's definitely got heavy South African
She
blood.
does, yeah.
she's got
I think
big
her
South
dad was in the music industry. That was like, how many did you get right? You got all of them
you
right.
just didn't get
screwed
my
up.
favorite.
That's 4 out of 10. That's really good.
Did you say 4 out of 10?
4 out of 5. Yeah, matric results have come out. 40%.
Yeah.
Killing the game. But okay, back to the harder hitting journalistic questions. I mean, people flock to the channel for these sort of questions.
Yeah.
So bear with me here, both of you. PHFAT, like you've established earlier, had various members in it, but would you say the duo was probably the longest standing part of those?
So me and Notch started it together as like a duo.
Okay, so I'm going to quote your goodbye message that you wrote, and because I think it's worth pausing on and reflecting because it's beautiful. So this is what Mike wrote about PHFAT splitting. Since the last big change at PHFAT, the journey has been indescribable. Between 2014 and 2015, we played nearly 200 shows to an almost incalculable number of people. We shared music that we poured ourselves into, and it was received with the biggest compliment an artist could be paid. Oh, that is it. Oh, no, paid. And then what you said, fucking butchered this. We have been able to live off our art. I thought you meant being paid was the greatest. Yeah, well, there was a lot of good writing.
Being paid enough to live off our art.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as beautiful as all of that is, it is also vulnerable. It's like trusting a friend with a precious secret and having that trust respected. So from both Mike and Nach, we would like to extend a big thank you. Thank you for being a part of the journey. I read that and it didn't nearly bring me to tears, but I was moved by it because, no, I thought there were very big moments about being an artist in there, about relationships, about creating things together. And I just thought it was a beautiful breakup message. Nowadays, the youths just they unfollow each other on Instagram and that's it.
I mean, it would have been awkward if you just stopped showing up at shows. You gotta like acknowledge and the sound suddenly changes a bunch.
Was that a tough breakup?
I mean, would you like to speak about your parents' divorce?
Considering that they aren't divorced, probably not.
Your parents still together? Dude, oh man, I took my shot in the dark.
You looked at me like, this guy's a product of divorce.
My parents are also still together, so don't come for me.
You guys are still fucking holding it together.
We're together. Look,
I was as splits go, that's about as amicable. I mean, I spoke to him like yesterday or something.
Okay.
This dude's my homie. We still write music together occasionally.
That's
like when he's in town, he comes to visit. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like, here's the thing, right? There's lots of ways that this shit can go. And you can end up like, it's easy whenever there's a split of any type for shit to get nasty. Mm-hmm. But the reality is most of the time when there's any type of split, be it fucking romantic, business, whatever, there's just like two different ideas.
Yes.
And ideally what you would do is find the best way to support each other's ideas of how to move forward.
Okay.
And there's like different people hit like different life phases. I'm not gonna get into the details of it, but like, you know, I don't think there's like, I just think the best way to move forward on that stuff is if you can support each other through it, then do it, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, sorry.
So Chloe, if we ever break up, it's because we have different thoughts on whether we should see other people or not.
Yikes.
It might be because you want to live in different cities. It might be because you want to become a full-time podcaster and Chloe wants to eat something more than tin baked beans.
Wow.
Wow, okay.
Wow.
First aggressive podcast guest we've had in a while.
No, I feel bad. Fuck, I wasn't going for that.
No, that's fantastic.
No.
Yeah.
There's lots of reasons. I'm just saying there's different like life ideas. It might not be because you want to fucking, I don't know, make music with other people or whatever. It might be because there's like, I want to make, like in my mind, I've always wanted to be a full-time musician, and that's kind of been where I've headed at. That's where I've had all my like arrows pointed at.
Yeah.
And so there's always quite a strong like vision I've had in my mind for where that's going. And you can't expect everybody to align with your life path the whole way through your life. I mean, I think like that's if you can stay aware of that, then sorry not to get yourself on a serious podcast.
100%.
Chloe and I have often discussed that, like a breakup, and I mean, you know, we've had pretty sweaty lives.
There's some big pizza sweat coming down there.
It's getting hot in the kitchen.
It's getting hot in her. You know, we've had pretty privileged lives, but like having gone through like both big breakups with the person you thought you were going to marry, which I think everyone goes through.
At 23, 24.
I'm a serious man.
And I'm 21.
You're
and
21.
He's 24.
Jeepers creepers.
Yeah. So if you're listening now, oh geez, I know. Come on.
Planning on getting married at that age?
I feel it's like a lovely ideal to. Do you want children? I want 5 children like yesterday.
5 children is a lot of children. Have you ever dealt with the children?
Many. No, I do hear what you're saying.
Have you ever dealt with the reality of children for more than a certain amount of time?
That's what I've been telling them.
what she's
I think you need to do is get some nephews and nieces.
Okay.
Do you have any? Is that a possibility?
No, we do have a couple. A couple in Germany.
A couple in Germany. You see, that's nice and far away because you can like put them away.
Send them
when
back.
you're done. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wait until you've actually like dealt with the reality.
I know, that is true. What's next for you, Mike? Because in our last phone call, you mentioned world domination. How's that going?
I don't know about world domination. I do want to make a lot of music.
Okay.
I want to make a ton of music. It's such a, I don't know. it was weird. Like as we shot off into the pandemic, and like everybody was like, I'm gonna make my masterpiece, and most of us just kind of sat around depressed and anxious. The joke was on us.
Yeah. Hope you guys have been laughing during the comedy podcast.
No, I like having these sort of discussions.
And it was like, cool, it's time to kind of rethink how it looks and sounds. So it was weird. It was such a fuck up. I was going to go and visit my girlfriend in New York, and then I was going to go to Europe. I had 2 tours like soft lined up in Europe for 2020. And the night before I was flying to Joburg to go get my visa to go visit my girlfriend in New York, Cyril went like, and my flight was cancelled, and my visa appointment was cancelled, and everything was just cancelled. And it was just like, okay, cool. My idea of how it was going to go forward like shifted and changed. And that's happened to everyone.
Yes.
So I guess like, and it's a different world now than it was in like February 2020. We forget how optimistic that time was. We was out here going like 20 plenty. Yeah. They were. Do you remember 20 plenty? We're never going into a year optimistic ever again. Not until 2030 when we forget. But like, but it's like a very, very different like plane now to exist on. Yeah. And so I think I'm just gonna. I'm just going to kind of see what happens, but I'm going to put out a ton of music.
Yeah. That's lovely too. Yeah. Chloe's a big fan of your Instagram.
Yeah. Well, I've said to Sam, I think that your Instagram offers an insight into your mind. Okay. You know, you got some dark thoughts on there. Yeah. You got quite a few dark thoughts on there.
Yeah, I should, yeah.
So what's...
He's like, what? Jesus, man, it's really ruined my Monday.
So what would you say your darkest thought is?
Thank you very much for that, Carl Jung. What is my darkest thought? I don't know. Here's the thing. I think a good dark thought can be quite like liberating. Because I think that personally, the biggest like challenge we have in this life is to accept the fucking grimness of reality. The fact that it doesn't like reality doesn't really care about us. And once you can accept that, sorry, but like once you can like say, honestly, I think it's like there's like,
it's liberating.
No, it's not. It's liberating. It's also fucking depressing, but
refreshing.
No, depressing. There's something to be said. There's something to be said for like being able to accept reality as it is. And I think it's like a modern type of superpower in terms of like existing. Fuck me.
Well,
existing.
I don't know. It's a bit hot, but I'm kidding.
No, existing in a way that's not like akin to being drunk, like not living in delusion.
Yes.
And so, yeah, just occasionally being reminded or finding ways to express reality as it is, I find quite grounding. Okay. I don't know how good I am at doing that always, but you know, that's I don't know if that's what you were talking about.
No, I think it's really refreshing.
Thank you.
I do, especially for Instagram.
Yeah,
it's everyone's highlight reel in your story.
Exactly. And mine's just.
But
Mondays are depressing.
Before we move on to the show's belated, overrated, underrated. Oh yeah. Press button.
Yeah, I was really hoping to be funny today. I really fucked this up.
No, I think it's been great.
This has been awesome.
And if it hasn't, let us know in the comments below.
This guy sucks.
And I wanted to ask you this question because it's quite a selfish. Yeah, watch out, contains allergens. Yeah. But no, it's a selfish question because I really want to know the answer. But I also know, or I think a lot of people in their 20-somethings will resonate with it. But especially in the sort of gig economy where everyone does a little bit of everything, you know. And I want to know, how do you keep creating? And that's not just as an artist, as a human, because I feel this whole, I feel it and I need it to breathe total BS. It's like a pretty bullshit narrative because we love creating, we love doing it. But how do you keep creating, evolving, and just getting out there?
So there's 2 like modes of creation that I find I can exist in. One of them, I get like technically obsessed with stuff. So I'll sit there and I'll think about something quite intellectually and sit there like fiddling with it, either on a keyboard or whether it's like, sometimes it'll be how my voice relates to a microphone, and I'll be sitting there with headphones on, just like listening to myself, which sounds kind of vain, but like it's the same as like, I don't know, it's like the difference between, and then the other mode is where you're just playing and you forget where you are and you forget what you're doing and you kind of just like find yourself unraveled, and like that's when, so that second type, that like very playful childlike Sorry, I drank my sparkling water. That very like childlike mode of playing is like what people call getting in the zone, or that's like inspiration, or that's like whatever. It's when like time stops. That'll happen, and you'll sit down at 10 a.m. and then suddenly it'll be like 6:30, and you'll be like, "Fuck! If I don't eat, I'm gonna pass out."
Yeah.
You forget that time exists. You
Like
forget
a
about
flow
everything.
state.
Yeah, it's like a full flow state, and you couldn't pull me out of that zone with a fucking, like you'd really have to scare the shit out of me to get me out of that zone.
So it is now time for the universally loved,
Yeah.
overrated, underrated.
Let's go. Okay. First up, overrated or underrated, Rocking the Daisies.
Rocking the Daisies previously was maybe a bit overrated, but now it's completely underrated because they have the best lineups.
Have you played on every stage? You must be one of the few artists.
I think I've played most. The only one I didn't play was like the folk stage.
Yeah, that makes
I mean,
sense.
I don't have big folk energy, so I'm
Yeah.
good with that. I've played the hip hop.
What about
the
big
electron-
dick energy? Okay. Chloe,
If you have to say I have big dick energy, do you have big dick energy? That's some small dick energy shit to be walking out going like, here I am with my BDE.
yeah, this guy does not have BDE.
Maybe we should start calling it MDE.
Well, I like what Chloe's favorite YouTuber does, Tiny Meat Gang. That's something I can resonate with. I'm like, I found my people. What else you got for us there, Sea Dog? Woof.
Sam writes these. Okay.
Why whoop?
Chloe
Slow
dog.
dog.
Jeez,
But
like
slow.
we said, this is the charity podcast for the month.
Okay. Overrated or underrated, big booties on Instagram.
What about small booties on Instagram?
I just think any booty on Instagram.
Is a booty.
No, I just think that I don't really pay attention to booties on Instagram because Instagram anything is like a bad place to
Yeah.
get a grip on reality. I just think that people should be allowed to post whatever they like.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for a press release on this podcast, PHFAT, not into booties on Instagram. Stop sending your booty pics, people.
Upload it to SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Here we go. Straight.
Get your booty pics on SoundCloud.
There was like, so when Ableton's our sequencer, and it came out with a whole new version, but at the top the feature list was upload directly to SoundCloud, which is the dumbest feature ever added. But that became like an in-studio joke. Like whenever somebody had a bad idea, you would just hit upload it to SoundCloud.
I like that.
And so yeah, that's all.
Okay,
I told you I was funny.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've got a one that I really wanted to know: is kids eat toast sometimes overrated or underrated?
Oh yeah.
Definitely in silence. That's all. I'll take it.
You were talking about how Kev awkward silence was earlier.
It is.
Kids Eat Toast is underrated completely at the moment. You guys haven't had. I feel like as soon as you get some eyes on you, it's gonna fucking explode. You're gonna be
That's
the.
very sweet.
I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna call you the Joe Rogans of Cape Town.
I mean,
Next episode, Sam and I will both be bald.
And not vaccinated.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're gonna
And-
unvaccinate yourselves because I'm
Can't
assuming
do
you're
that.
both fucking vaccinated.
Oh yeah. The big
Oh,
V.
yeah.
We got the big V in us. I like we speak about this every podcast. I got the one hitter because I.
Oh, did you get? How did you do that?
He
You
was
probably
early.
did something illegal. I always feel like people who got the J&J did something dodgy.
Like,
Get it?
yeah,
Like
I
you
coach
either-
school kids, so
Huh?
I coach hockey, so that's how I got it.
Okay.
And my performances are borderline illegal.
What?
No. That's
Not a good thing to bring up when you're a hockey coach, my dude.
No. Yeah, it's like I love the kids. They're like, really?
Wow, fucking hell. This overrated, underrated
Yeah.
is going terribly.
I know. Overrated, underrated? Overrated.
Kids Eat Toast sucks. I don't.
Yeah, no. Kids Eat Toast are great. That Sam guy, he's fucking shit. It can just be instead of KETS and Chloë. It doesn't really
Doesn't
work.
have the same
It doesn't
ring.
really. But I
Yeah.
think that is a wonderful place to
That's
to
a
end.
wrap.
Wrap this up. Wow,
That's
that
a
was the
wrap.
worst ending compared to our last one.
I think we can just be like, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Because we want to try a new insert to the show with you briefly, and you might see it, you might never see it, but keep your eyes glued.
peeled.
But I just want to say from my side, massive thank you, Mike.
Anytime.
It was very cool. You're a very cool person, and
That's such a strange compliment to have to deal with. Thank you.
well, deal with it. And as per usual, Chloe, I am forever indebted to you. Your voice of reason, beauty, and just radiant energy inspire me to be a better man. And then finally, to the people that watch and listen and love KETS, muchas gracias.
Yeah.
So all the homies in Botswana, keep watching.
Keep watching.
watching.
Chloe, do you have something poetic to say?
No. Nothing. Absolutely nothing poetic.
What's that thing? You know, like it's not a tricycle, but it's 2 wheels. A bus. I'm trying hard, guys. You know, every week we swing for the fences here.
Every week we swing.
We swing and we swing hard. Bye.
Bye.
You know,
What
you
does
know,
this mean?
it's a heart in Korean culture. Oh yeah, appropriate. There we go. In white
Bye.
culture, that's the big heart.